What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. Hope everybody's doing okay. Happy Tuesday. Okay, so a lot of people watch the video and then leave, and I don't remind them to like and subscribe and share, and please leave me all your comments on the topic that I covered today. I really like talking to all of you in the comments. You can also find us on our members channel, and we're on the KGRA feeds everywhere. I wanted to talk a little bit more about yesterday's interview between Chris Cuomo and Tucker Carlson because it does tie to something that has been happening over the last 48 hours or so in terms with the release of these files. I'm talking about obviously about the JFK assassination files, the Epstein files as well, and obviously the declassification of the UFO files, which was the whole point of Congresswoman Luna's task force. Recently, there was also added that 3 Democrats are supporting this cause. One of them is Robert Garcia, and I'm just happy that it does seem to be bipartisan. But when I first started talking about this effort from Congresswoman Luna, a lot of you and me included did never really had any high hopes because there's just a lot of different intersections that don't allow for this to be fully released to the public. I do have a strong inkling of this document that I already showed you in a couple of videos before of JFK asking about UFOs. The document recently was presented at the Daily Mail, and they claim that it is a real document. I've been told by both Matthew Pines and Mr. Jeff Cruikshank that this document seems authentic. And also by Mr. Ryan Wood also told me that this document might be real. And these are qualified people with a lot of experience in this type of research. That's why I ask them. I am not an expert. So I trust what they tell me because they have a good track record too. So based on this document, the JFK files could very well be linked to the UFO files. And if that is the case, what else is connected? Like, I'm just not happy about the way in which it was handled from the beginning, because if you're going to like put everything together, lump it in a single thing, you might want to start prioritizing from the fundamentally more important topics to the more mundane topics. And I'm not saying that releasing the Jeffrey Epstein files is not important or other things that people want to know about. I always thought that the most controversial parts of these files, all combined, could potentially represent an issue for the rest to be released. Because the most resistance that I think we're getting right now is with the first files that they announced they were going to release. Those are both the Epstein files and the JFK assassination files. Maybe they should have started with UFOs. I think that would have been relatively less difficult, in my opinion. Because, for one, all the Congress people from the UAP caucus are well versed on what's happening, so they can navigate that better, I think. And there's a lot of hidden information and just a lot of deceit involved with the JFK and the Epstein files. And there's a lot of interest that I sense that is involved in that too. So that was arguably the steepest hill to climb. And right now you can sense how frustrated some people are. For example, Anna Paulina Luna is releasing a few tweets where she's like how frustrated she feels. There's this tweet that she released. It's like a Simpsons kind of still, I think, with a yellow hand that seems like from the Simpsons. And it says, the job of the mainstream media today is to make you think that the views of 10% of the country are actually the views of 90% of the country. We have seen also how FBI Director Kash Patel has really struggled to get access to these documents. And he's even requested, according to Fox News, a direct line to the Oval Office without any intermediaries, which is already, I mean, predictable, but still concerning, because the people that are trying to keep everything secret are like doing their job right in front of our eyes. Like you can see the interference that is happening in real time. Just go to X or go to any other social media where these people that are trying to do this grow increasingly more frustrated. And pretty much everybody in the comment section of the videos that I did was saying the same thing. Like it's really difficult, if not impossible, for this to happen. And it's really disappointing that people like the president right now or other people who could have the power to just do something about this don't seem to be very much eager to do something about it. We know that there's a 60 minutes piece that is coming out next week about these drones in New Jersey and in other places of the country. And there seems to be some sort of disconnection between the person that is being interviewed and the Oval Office, which is really concerning. And the trailer that they released on 60 Minutes about these drones covers a gentleman that has been part of classified briefings about the drones. He claims that nobody knows what they are. It's a really interesting story that I think ties into all of this because there seems to be like some sort of realization by the incoming administration trying to explain what's going on is like way more difficult than they probably imagined. And I don't know, it's just really interesting to see everything unfolding in front of us in real time. I don't know what this is gonna end up with. I know that there was a lot of people that were actually like optimistic about the file release. You can see the frustration in people. What do you think should happen? Whose door should be knocked so the files are released? I want to know that because it is frustrating, but it's not surprising either. So one thing that I will say about Congresswoman Luna is that despite I know that there's a lot of people in the world that don't agree with her political views, they at all, like they even really, really vehemently reject them. I get that, but I think that Congresswoman Luna showed some signs that she does want to work with the other side, meaning the Democrats. It was announced in recent days that she will be part of a bill next to Alexandra Ocasio Cortez, and you guys know she's a like a really really tough Democrat, and she was part of one of the hearings of UFOs. So the fact that they're like sharing a bill together, I think that's encouraging. That's one of the good steps that need to be taken in order to work together more often. Do it in bipartisan bills or efforts. And I think Luna does understand that, despite the differences of opinion and philosophy and beliefs in general. I think this is the message that even if you disagree on other things, the fact that they're trying to work together in some things should be encouraging. To people who doubted Luna, I think you can see that she's just as frustrated as we are. So maybe it's out of her control. And I hope that uh, some Deus ex machina moment happens because the way this is going and it's like shaping up to be, I don't think we're getting anything. I hope so, at least from that government effort, because I think there are other ways of getting stuff, like getting your own evidence, go on the field yourself and get your own stuff. And I think that's the way that we're going to get closer to what's going on. There's already a lot of people that kind of already feel and see that something is going on. But like getting to talk about it in public, it's is kind of difficult because some of these things can get a little overwhelming and unexplainable in many ways. And if you're not equipped or prepared to at least have a framework that can help you understand some of these things, it becomes impossible. And if you just stay quiet and just don't say it and keep it to yourself, stigma has a little bit to do with that, but I'm happy that there are people like within government and within the scientific community that are starting to come forward and telling their stories and getting the stigma out little by little, peel by peel. And I think that's positive. That's on that side, especially for experiencers, that's a good sign. And speaking about experiencers, I got good news, guys. On Monday, I'm going to interview Dr. John Blitch, who was part of the piece Ross Coulthard released about Skywatcher and Jake Barber. He was the second interview that was there. He was the man who spoke about this encounter with a mantis being. He's already given a bunch of interviews where he talks about that. So I'm going to link in the description all the interviews that I really loved. But I'm going to try to speak to him about other things that haven't been spoken about in public. At least I'm going to try. And on Tuesday, I speak to Lenville Logan from the UAP task force. Those are two consecutive interviews that I'm going to do. I can't wait to speak to both of them. I'm already preparing for those two interviews. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this increasing frustration and unsurprising negative response about the files. Do you think we're getting anything, or do you think it's just going to be more of the same? Because it does seem like people are starting to lose a little hope. And we don't want that, right? Man, they can't even be transparent on the more mundane shit. That's wild. So, yeah, let me know what you think. And this is it for me today. I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget, stay curious, stay inquisitive. Bye.